I have no idea why people keep saying Squid Game season 3 is bad. Y'all, okay, you know that life isn't all cherries, right? And so is this game. This game was never meant to be uh, an optimistic sunshine one. I'm here to try to change your mind. No, this is not PR. That's me quite literally just voicing what I think. You might get pissed, but eh. So let's just split the motives of each season, alright? First season, Gihan is in debt, tries to be rich, gets rich. Season 2, since he lost all the people that was close to him in the game, he's like, I'll screw the entire organization like an idiot and re-enters the game. Now this is crucial, alright? The fact that Gihun re-enters is to quite literally prove frontman that there is still some faith in humanity. And this is always a theme that has occurred in Squid Games. So we'll just do a little travel back in time. This was already a concept introduced in season 1. Ilnam in his deathbed asks Gihan if he still has faith in people. And he points to a homeless man not receiving any help. But right before Gihan could point out that someone actually helped the homeless guy, yeah, Ilnam is dead. So this is a recurrent theme in Squid Games. Even second season hints at this at the beginning. Is Gihan stupid for thinking he can overthrow an entire organization? Yes, but that's not the message Squid Games is trying to convey. So season 1 is about introduction of the games and the loss of some very good fleshed out characters and people that were close to Gihan, which facilitates way for season 2 and season 3. And season 2 and season 3 solely revolves around a back and forth clash of ideologies of the frontman as well as Gihan. So with that being clear, let me explain my thoughts and some of my concerns that I had, with season 3. Firstly, some parts should have been better. For example, the detective. Um, his name, wait, let me just Google it up. Yeah, Junho. Yeah, Junho. No, like Redditor said, him and his entire crew could have never been in picture from season 1 and everything would be the same. I really don't understand how. Okay, just leave it. Next, 011 and the player daddy she helped, right? Definitely some people couldn't find much connect to her, and that I understand because even though she was introduced at the beginning of season 2, I don't think people had much of reason to empathize with her. And I this is another problem I have. All right, season 1 you had more fleshed out characters. In season 2 and season 3 I don't think there were that many fleshed out characters. Even the bonds between the characters, right? The only bond in such a way that I saw was between uh, the grandmom, I mean the mother, the old woman, and her son. I think that was a very fleshed out plot that kind of ended full circle as well. I mean, I couldn't see the grandmother dying by the son. It was obvious that grandmother had more balls. So there we go. Anyways, and the CGI, yeah, I mean, why so many zoom ups of the baby? Why? You can obviously see it's an AI baby. I just, anyways, yeah, the CGI is bad. Okay. But questions like why didn't Gihun kill the other sleeping people to save him and play a triple two? No, that doesn't even serve the message, okay? So, Gihun, I know he acted like an idiot by not killing those people by slitting their throats off when Frontman offered him the knife. But you know what? It's in line with his character. You need to understand that Gihun is someone that has a very strict moral compass. Okay, and unless someone really pushes his buttons, like personally, he wouldn't really try to do anything. For example, Deho. And I heard some people complain about Deho's character as well. And I don't know how to feel about it, honestly, because I didn't hate him much, but after the whole reasoning that he gave in season 3, when he was confronting Gihun, I don't know if it was sloppy writing, I don't know what it is, but I was just like, oh my god, I hate this dude. If you just did this to fit in, yeah, that's kind of shitty, dude. I mean, do I believe that if you went and got, the max, they would have survived? I I don't think there would have been zero casualties. No, people would have still died. But I do believe that they would have cracked some hole in the organization and could have cracked some intel. It's I don't think it would have been as futile as what actually happened due to Daehol's, issue as well. Um, but I also think it was a stupid plan by Gihon, and I'm not even defending Gihon because all I'm trying to say is Gihon is stupid. Like, he's not the most rational person out there, and I think we already established it. The fact that Squid Games is running not just in Korea but in multiple other places, and this man thinks he can just overthrow an organization by just like killing everyone, it's stupid. Like, frontman even said he's just going to be replaced by someone. So yeah, I agree with that. And secondly, the other thing I want to talk about, remember, this is a clash of ideologies. So yeah, he didn't want to kill those people who were very obviously trying to plot against the baby, because to him, he feels like that's solely wrong because of his moral compass. And we are shown a glimpse of Frontman's flashback where he actually went ahead with the option of slitting everyone's throat to save himself. And I think Frontman really wanted to see what would happen if he gives Gihun the same situation. But Gihun not doing that speaks a lot about his character being the way he is. So obviously it's in sense with his character arc is all I'm saying. And with that being said, both the baby daddy and Gihun, they both fight in the last game, right? And both of these people, they fight without even pressing the button. I believe they kind of got carried away because they were trying to defend themselves against the other person. And I also feel that the fact that MG died in that particular last round, and the fact that Gihun was like, oh shit, I didn't even press the button and now I have to choose between myself and the baby, I think that that would have that gave a better message compared to MG dying and Gihun and the baby inheriting the cash and walking out. The reason is because MG dying before the game started allowed a scenario where the VIPs as well as frontmen are literally thinking, yeah, Gihun is going to probably drop the baby, he's gonna kill the baby, oh, what are you waiting for, etc., etc. But what actually happened, Gihun is like, no, I still believe that people should have faith in humanity and we're not just your horses, right? And he falls down saving the baby. And I think there is an important message there. Because due to his sacrifice, 011 decides to not end herself, in turn enabled her to reach out to find her lost daughter. And I believe even Frontman's ideals were a bit shaken because he didn't actually expect even one person to not be selfish, to actually be selfless and think about another person, especially in a game like this. But Gihun did. And because of this, that is why I guess he even paid his respect to Gihun by going down, looking down at him, even bowing his head, even slightly so. It's a form of respect. He goes to his daughter and hands the jacket Gihun wore. Though that's like very traumatic, dude. What the hell? The girl is probably like 13. But like, anyways, the show is meant to be a description of capitalism and greed. Okay, you get sucked into it. Some people that were victims decide to feed back into the system. For example, Frontman, he was a player there. He decides to take over the role of a host. And surely one person, for example Gihun, alone can't crack a hole in this flawed system. But we can see how his action affected at least 2 or 3 lives around him. And I do believe the baby route, though not flawlessly executed, I'd probably say it's the best way to narrate the story. That in the end, Gihun chose to hold on to his own faith in humanity and himself, hoping it would create some change somewhere. And this show is never about Gihun blasting his money off, somehow figuring out the entire secrets of the organization and overthrowing them. That's my problem. I feel like many of the people think this show was supposed to do that because it's not that type of a show. It's very clear that it has never been that type of a show. Rather, it's a love letter to two clashing ideologies. Anyways, even if your mind, if your opinion isn't completely changed, I understand. Drop down whatever you think in the comment section. I'm done. I'm out of breath.